I am one of the admissions counselors and recruiters here at Tuskegee University. I'm one of our newest recruiters, actually. I'm a recent graduate of Tuskegee myself. I just graduated in May 2021. I got my bachelor's in animal poultry and veterinary sciences. So I'm super happy to be representing my alma mater and to share with y'all a little bit about the opportunities that we have for you all. And so today I'm going to go ahead and start with a presentation, and we'll end with a question and answer portion. So if y'all have questions, definitely feel free to write them down, and then I'll be happy to answer all of them at the end. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start by taking a peek inside the tiger's den. Who are we? Tuskegee University. We were founded on July 4th, 1881. And I know most of y'all might, when you hear that date, you think of fireworks and grilling. And we still do all of that. We just celebrate in honor of Mother Tuskegee, being that that is the date that we were founded. We are referred to also as the pride of the swift growing South. We're ranked as the #4th HBCU in the nation. And however, we are the #1 HBCU in the state of Alabama. So we're very, very grateful for that. And then thankfully to the efforts of our founding principal, Dr. Booker T. Washington, who really wanted us to be able to do for ourselves and educate ourselves and survive in the world and on our own. We have some great programs from engineering to learn how to build things and do things with our hands and fix problems out in the world. And then also we're a big agriculture-based school, so learning how to survive off of the land and take care of the animals that we have, and then many more. Even our College of Business is a very big popular program. And so a lot of our students are recruited by big companies such as Google, Microsoft, Intel, and so many more. And so thankfully, due to the efforts of Dr. Booker T. Washington, Tuskegee University is able to remain a staple in minority academia to this day. So some quick facts about us. We are a relatively smaller campus. We have a student body of right up under 3,000 students at 2,600. Our student to faculty ratio is what a lot of parents and students like to know. They ask, what is it going to be like in the classroom for my child or for myself? Am I going to be just a number with 100 other people? Am I not going to be able to hear my professor if they're going to be, so far away at the board? But thankfully here at Tuskegee, it's not like that. So here at Tuskegee, our student to faculty ratio is 9-to-1, meaning you have that close connection with your professors. You're able to ask them questions during class, go visit them during their office hours. I even as a student had some professors give me their personal numbers if I needed anything in regards to class. And one thing about Tuskegee, we are a family. And so if I did end up needing something, even not related to class, they were always there to support me and connect me with whoever I needed. And so I'm definitely appreciative of that and sharing that with you all. We also offer 41 bachelor's programs, 16 master's programs, and 5 doctoral programs. And so if you all go on our website, you can definitely look through all of those and feel free to choose, what best fits your interests. And if y'all have any questions or if you see something that's not offered, feel free to ask, because a lot of times students may say, oh, I want to be a lawyer, but you may not see the word lawyer in our list of degrees or offered majors. However, a lot of our students end up majoring in, for example, political science, and then we do have a law fair, and so you have all of that background knowledge that you need to still pursue that lawyer degree. We also have a freshman retention rate of about 76%. And so we really take pride in that, because if you look at most colleges across the country, they average at about 50% as far as retention goes. And so being that Tuskegee is at that 76%, we realize that not only does that mean that our students enjoy being here, but they do come back to eventually graduate. All right, so some of our top 5 academic majors. No, these are not better than any of the other that we offer. This is just the way we get these are by looking at what our students declare on their application when they first apply to Tuskegee University. And so I'm a little biased. My major is in the #1 spot. However, behind animal, poultry, and veterinary sciences, we also have biology, nursing, business, and mechanical engineering. So Tuskegee University is a very historic school. We are the top producer of African-American aerospace engineers, occupational therapists, and general military officers in the country. We were the first HBCU to have a fully accredited College of Veterinary Medicine program on our campus. And then also we started Alabama's very first nursing program. And so it's been around for about 130 years or so. And so we like to believe if you can do something for that long, then you might be doing it well or right. So we definitely pride ourselves in that as well. And then we are the only college campus in the United States to be designated a National Historic Site by Congress. And so that ties into that piece where I mentioned where we're very historical. It runs through our veins. We get visitors from all across the country, all across the world that come here to view some of our museums and those historic landmarks that we have on our campus. And then we're also home to many notable alumni that you'll see in this next slide, such as Mr. Lionel Richie, who is a Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter, Mr. Tom Joyner, who is a radio talk show host, and then former state attorney of New Jersey, Ms. Marilyn Mosby. And you will see them in this slide from left to right. All right, so student life. I always tell students, here at Tuskegee, we work hard, but we play hard too. And so student life is where you have that opportunity to play hard. In high school, you may have had something that was kind of like a student body or student government association. And so, or ASB, it might have been called. But we do have that similarly at Tuskegee as well. So ours is called Student Government Association. And with that, we do have some perks and per diem. So like they get their own offices. They travel with university officials to games and conferences and meet with some other schools and their students as well. And so with that, it's a great networking opportunity. It's a great way to be a leader. And it's open to all of our students. And so in addition to that, we do have the Marching Crimson Pipers band. I believe we're the best band in the land, and I'm not gonna I'm sorry if there's any other HBCU band supporters, but we were the first HBCU band. And so I do stand behind the Marching Crimson Pipers band as far as that goes. We're also home of the Golden Voices Concert Choir, who is world renowned. They have actually performed at the New York Philharmonic, and they're also on the soundtrack of one of the songs in the movie in the movie Selma. The song is called Glory. It's written by Common and John Legend. If y'all haven't heard it, I'd strongly suggest you go listen to it. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And the choir that you hear in the background is our Golden Voices Concert Choir. If you're interested in cheerleading, we do have cheerleading available, as well as some other dance teams with a variety of styles, and they perform at games and pep rallies as well. I personally love this next point, our state clubs. Tuskegee University has a very diverse campus when it comes to where our students are from. So if I'm personally from California. I didn't come visit Tuskegee. I didn't go to open house or anything. But one thing I was recommended was to join the California Club. And it was one of the best things I did when I came here as a freshman, because it allowed me to connect with other students that were from where I was from. I didn't know them prior to coming to college. However, once I met them when I got to Tuskegee, they became family to me. So we would go home together during Thanksgiving and Christmas breaks. And we really just they were a great support system. So I always recommend joining state clubs, no matter where you're from. We have some for just about everywhere. And then we do also offer Greek life, whether you want to be a part of the National Panhellenic Council or the non-Panhellenic Council with our service fraternities and sororities. All right, so as far as athletics go, if anyone is interested in sports, we are a Division II school when it comes to our athletic teams. So we do offer athletic scholarships. So if you're interested in that, definitely let me know, and I would be happy to put you in contact with the coaches and the athletic department. Also, another thing I like to let students know is if you're like me and you don't want to participate competitively, we do have intramural sports that are offered as well, and those include these sports as well as a variety of others that are not on this list, like volleyball and some others. Okay. So as far as housing goes, this is going to be your home away from home. So you got to have somewhere to lay your head. And thankfully, Tuskegee University, we have 14 dorm buildings and 5 apartment buildings on campus. And so in those dorm buildings, you'll either have a communal style bathroom, or you will have what's similar to a Jack and Jill style suite, where there's a bathroom in the middle of 2 bedrooms. And so you and your roommates would be sharing that with the tenants on the other side of that adjoining restroom. And then as far as the communal style bathrooms go, that just means that there would be 1 restroom on each floor of the hall, and then all the girls on each floor or guys on each floor would share that restroom. And so then similarly, in our apartment buildings, once you become an upperclassman and maintain the proper GPA and have the correct number of credit hours, you can apply to live in our on-campus apartment buildings. And so in those, they come in 2-bedroom and 4-bedroom layouts. And so like I said before, with the 2 bedrooms, each tenant would get their own bathroom. However, in the 4 bedrooms, the 2 tenants on each side would share a restroom. And so both those 2 and 4 bedroom apartment buildings will have 2 bathrooms. Okay, so as far as dining goes, we all love to eat, and thankfully here at Tuskegee, we do have some other dining options in addition to our cafeteria. Don't get me wrong, our cafeteria is absolutely great. We actually even have every Wednesday what we call Fried Chicken Wednesday. It's kind of like a holiday here at Tuskegee, really, where our students, we have a tradition of dressing up, it's dressed to impress. You can be runway ready and have on your best attire. And our students just like to mingle in the cafeteria. They go outside on the yard and take pictures together. And it's just a great way to show their school spirit every Wednesday. But in addition to that, we do have Austin's Grill, which is located in our Margaret Mary Washington Hall building on campus. And in there, we have a variety of flat top grill options from burgers, quesadillas, taco salads, chicken tenders, French fries, and much more. Also next to that, we have our version of Starbucks, which is a part of our Marvelous Market. It's a smaller version, so it's not a full-size Starbucks. So we do have a limited selection of their menu items. However, it is still great if you have an 8 a.m. and you need your morning coffee. And then also we have Kickin' Chicken, where you'll find all things chicken from fried to grilled, and so much more in there. And then as an incoming freshman, all of our students start off with the same basic meal plan. However, one thing I do like to note for students is that with that meal plan, you get Tiger points. And so those are basically equivalent to money. And so if you wanted to eat in Austin, Starbucks, or Kickin' Chicken, you would use your points in those eateries. All right, so what does it take to be a Golden Tiger? Our preferred applicant comes in with a 3.0 GPA and either a 21 composite score on their ACT or a 1080 composite score on their SAT. And so I don't want this number or these numbers to scare you all. Please note that says preferred requirements. And so when we're looking at applications, we're definitely taking a holistic approach. Like we're looking at your entire application. We're looking to see what classes you took. We're looking to see, did you take or retake your SAT or ACT? And we work with you all. And so don't let those numbers scare you. Definitely look to apply and put your best foot forward. I also do want to note that we have two types of applications, and I think this is very beneficial. I know a lot of schools were doing it when COVID first hit. It may have taken it away, but Tuskegee is going to remain with our two application types. And so those are our standard application and our test optional application. And so with the standard application, you're just required to submit your transcript and your test scores. And so that's easy peasy, just two things. But for those students that may not have taken those tests or don't want to take those tests or just feel like, you can vouch better for your grades or your academic performance by writing an essay and getting a letter written for you, you do have the option to apply that way. And so that would be that test optional application where you would just have to submit your transcript, a letter of recommendation, and a 500 maximum word essay. And so keep that in mind. However, also with the test optional application, that 3.0 GPA is going to be required. And so just remember that 3.0 GPA is going to be required for a test optional application. And one thing I just like to personally note to students, and this is with any college that you're applying to, if you're going to submit a letter of recommendation, make sure if you have access to read that letter of recommendation. You want to know what someone is saying on your behalf because it can either strengthen or weaken your application. So for example, here at Tuskegee, we have the option to send a link to whomever's email that you want to fill out your letter of recommendation for you. And what they're going to receive is a questionnaire asking, was this person basically good, bad, or excellent? And if they just check excellent all the way through, that's not really considered a strong letter of recommendation. However, if they attach an actual written letter on a letterhead and it's signed, then that would give you a stronger letter of recommendation. But you still want to read over those because believe it or not, telling y'all a story. One time my supervisor was evaluating a student's application, and when he went to read the letter of recommendation, the counselor or whoever wrote the letter said, please do not, I don't recommend that you admit this student into your school. And so I'm absolutely positive that student did not read that letter because I would not have submitted something that said, do not accept me. And so you guys make sure you read those letters that are being written on your behalf, okay? All righty. Moving on. to the slide where the money resides. So our tuition is currently at a rate of $19,594 for the academic year. Our room and board is at $10,746. And then our other fees, which are going to include that health insurance, your student ID, your activity fee, and your renter's insurance, is going to be $3,020 for a grand total of $33,360 for the academic year. And so even though this number is pretty steep, Tuskegee is very far from the least expensive place you can get your education, but we are also very far from the most expensive place that you can get your education. And one thing that I love to let students know is that once you leave Tuskegee, you're leaving with more than just a piece of paper. You're leaving with more than just that degree. Here at Tuskegee, we give you all the tools to succeed in the world in whichever career field that you choose. Like I said, I'm from California, and anytime I'm traveling or I'm working and I wear Tuskegee on my shirt, someone is going to recognize me. And it's always a great opportunity or a great connection when you meet someone who recognizes our prestigious university. And so that's just going to propel you in the world. And so don't let that number scare you. There's definitely a lot of great things that come with attending Tuskegee University. All right, and so as far as our scholarships go, great point that I want to mention here is that you do not have to submit any outside paperwork or any other applications when applying for Tuskegee University. If you meet the qualifications for these scholarships, we will automatically recommend it to you. And so don't worry about that. Don't worry about, do I need to fill out anything? Do I need to send an email? Do I need to apply for the presidential? No, once you submit your application, we're going to automatically look at your GPA. We're going to look at those test scores. And same thing for the test optional applicants, being that you don't have test scores, we do have a separate rubric that we evaluate you based on for these same scholarships. So you're still in good standing. But yeah, so no separate application. As you can see, these scholarships are very, very competitive. Our presidential scholarship is our top scholarship. It covers full tuition, room and board, and you receive an $800 book voucher as well. But as you see, those requirements are a minimum GPA of a 3.7 and either a 28 on the ACT or a 1300 on that SAT. And so another note that students benefit from is, as long as you maintain that GPA requirement, then you can use the same scholarship every year for your entire time at Tuskegee. And then we also do stat scholarships. So if you were interested in playing football and you got a football scholarship, you can stack that as well. Or if your academic department wants to award you a scholarship, you can add that on as well. Or if you have a community scholarship, you can add that on there too. So definitely plenty of opportunities to make sure you receive aid to help alleviate that $33,000 cost of tuition. All right, and then some important dates that I want y'all to note. If you have a pen and paper available, please write these down, because in addition to, making sure that you're on top of the deadlines for Tuskegee, we do have the FAFSA, which opens up every single year on October 1st. And no matter where you want to go to school, where you want to go to college, it's important that you fill out that FAFSA, because it's going to tell you how much money that you're going to need, how much money you can receive, and where you stand depending on the cost that you're required to pay for college. And so again, October 1st, every single year, the FAFSA opens. And so we are in the month of September. So if you are a senior this year, then you should be looking to fill out that FAFSA on that date. And now if we're looking to apply to Tuskegee University for the fall term, our preferred deadline is May 1st. And then our late deadline, our absolutely last hard deadline for fall admission is July 1st. So if you're missing any documents or you need to send in updated transcripts, you can turn those in as late as July 1st. Also do want to let you guys know that Tuskegee does do early admission. So you can apply as early as a junior, and we can make an evaluation after you've completed your classes your junior year. So what would happen in that case is if you're admitted and in the event that you're recommended a scholarship, you would just have to submit your final transcript once you graduate high school. So juniors and seniors, don't be afraid to apply because we're open to both. And then last but not least, this is my personal contact information. If you guys need help with any college information, please feel free to reach out. Even if it's not Tuskegee, I definitely understand, looking into college can be a lot and it can kind of seem overwhelming, but that's what we're here for, to guide you all and help you all through this process. So please feel free to call me, email me. If you need an essay read over, I definitely don't mind. And so y'all can take a picture of this and write it down. Thank y'all so much for this opportunity. Go ahead and chase your dreams.